if I can give one more advice to people is, if anybody has the opportunity to come and they've prayed about it, they've got that peace in their heart, do it. Because, it's a life-changing challenge, but it's something that they're in control of. And the challenges that's going to come, you'll get through it.
I'm Dr. CHAMONIX Blanche, ex-corporate and academical, turned CEO and board member of several companies, and mother of 4 little extraordinary kids. But it wasn't that long ago that I lacked the confidence, the know-how, and the time to focus on designing and really going after the life that I so wanted to live. A life of freedom, of fairness, and of being fair dinkum to who I really was and what I wanted to get out of this fleeting time that we have on Mother Earth. Fast forward to many lessons learned and moving halfway around the world to the most amazing country, you'll see the life that I now live. One that gives me more safety and freedom than I ever thought would be possible, and that really only existed as a daydream while I was living in South Africa. I created CHAMONIX TV to give you true spot advice on how you can also live a life in this amazing country, and so that you can see how another couple like us now live in Australia with 4 little kids here in Down Under. And I'll be providing you with step-by-step strategies so that you can make your Aussie dream a reality too. If you're a keen future Aussie who's looking to create a life that excites you and offers you safety, freedom, and opportunity, you have come to the right place, my friend. Welcome aboard.
Hi, Olga. Thank you so much for joining us. You're in Yanchep. How are you?
Thanks, CHAMONIX. We're very well, thank you. Yes, we're in Yanchep and loving it.
That's good. And how long have you been calling Yanchep home?
CHAMONIX, we've been here for 3 years. We've been in Australia since March 2016. At that point, we only had 3 kids. And hubby came December 2015. We used to stay in Clarkson, but 3 years ago, we had the opportunity to build our own home, which was our very first home ever. And it was in the same month that we had our 10th year wedding anniversary. So it was very special. And so it's just over 3 years now.
Oh, wow. That's exciting. And congratulations on the 10-year wedding anniversary recently, shall I say?
Thank you.
And you said 3 children. So you have, what are the ages of your children?
My youngest she'll be 5 next month. She was born here. She's our Aussie. And then I have a son which is 7, a daughter which is 8, and our eldest is 11.
So you have 4 kids as well. You're
Yes.
I want to say brave or crazy mum like I am.
Oh, I don't know. Let's not put any labels on it.
but what a blessing. Absolute blessing to have
Absolutely.
the children. So you have an empty nest now almost. Your 5-year-old would be in kindy.
She's in pre-primary. So yes, from this year, it's just me and hubby working from home, and the kids are in school, which actually helps keep the house clean.
Surprisingly, and you actually have time to get stuff done. So tell me a little bit, Olga, how did you come to Australia? What started off that whole process for you of maybe we should move to another country? And then can you walk us through that whole process, please?
Absolutely. Yes. Well, I think our biggest inspiration was the kids. When we started the process, we only had our eldest son, and then we fell pregnant with Anya. So we put everything on hold and thought, let's first have the baby here. And then as soon as Anya was born, 6 months later, I found out I was pregnant again. So everything was put on hold and put on hold. Eventually, finally, after 5 years, we could start with the process. And it was mainly because of the kids. In South Africa, I had a lot of traumatic experiences. They have broken in so many times in our place. They have attacked me so many times. My husband's been through attempted hijackings, and we've had terrible experiences, traumatic experiences. And my husband and I sat down and just decided that this isn't the life we wanted to expose our children to. And having to walk around with all that anxiety the whole time. Am I safe to get out of my car? Is the garage closed? Is the gate closed? Is anybody at the traffic light? See, I started getting my terminology right. It's not
not a robot.
Traffic light. And all those experiences that we had to go through, we just didn't want to put our children through that. And my dad always said, if there's an opportunity, take it while it's there. And South Africans, or our Afrikaans people, have the very good saying of skip terwyl die water vloei, terwyl die rivier vloei, moet jy skep. So it was, we decided to take the bull by the horns and do it.
That is so good. Well done. And that was, so what's the math now? 8 years ago?
2016.
16, 4 plus 2, 6 years ago. Yeah.
6 years ago.
So 6 years. Oh wow. And do you still, look at your beautiful Thor behind you. You told me his name is Thor a little bit earlier.
Little Thor.
So you actually have 5 children, don't you?
No, it's
4 plus
5. 5. When happy is 6, it's 6 children. When he's 6.
Thor is so beautiful. What type of breed is he? Is he a crossbreed?
He's a crossbreed. He's a little pavement special. He's a silky terrier crossed with a Norfolk terrier. But he's a real little mommy's boy.
Oh, he's beautiful. He's beautiful. Okay, so 6 years ago you came here, and then you went to Clarkson, and then built your home in Yanchep. What was that visa that you came with? Did you apply for a skilled visa?
Yes, we applied for a skilled visa on with my hubby's credentials. He's in IT, something in IT, don't ask me what. And it's too complicated. And we came over directly on a PR. He came first, and December 2015 he stayed with his sister, and till he got all the ducks in a row and got a job and got a house and everything. When everything was said, he came back to South Africa and he got the kids and myself.
So how long did that take? How long was he away for in Australia?
December, about 3 months.
Okay, all right, not too long.
Everything was in place. No. The initial plan was that we would all come together, and but my sister-in-law, she was pregnant with the first daughter, about 7 months, and I told my husband, first child, new baby, small house, and all of a sudden you've got 5 new people to look after. I said, let's not do this to her.
But bless her soul that she was prepared to do it.
Yes, no, she would.
So he came, he saw, he conquered, he went back, he grabbed you guys, you came over, and then you went straight into a home, or did you stay in an Airbnb then?
Luckily he came back and fetched us. And we stayed in a home right across. We were very fortunate to get a house to rent right across the street from my sister-in-law. So there was a blessing. They worked full time, but we could see them in the evenings and on weekends. And that helped us tremendously in getting started with getting our Medicare, getting cell phones, getting bank accounts, everything, getting licenses, everything sorted in the paperwork. So they were a huge help. I think it would have been much more difficult without them. They came about 18 months before us. They came to Australia. So and
did they also come with permanent residency?
Yes.
When they moved over? Yeah, that helps a lot. So did your husband apply for his own visa, or did he get sponsored over?
No, we applied. He applied for his own visa, and we did everything through an agent.
Oh, okay.
It took a lot of stress. Yes, it took a lot of stress off.
But he came
magnificent.
Oh, that's very good, because we get mixed reviews about some.
Unfortunately.
I'm so glad for you guys. And he came over without a job, is that right?
That's right. So he came and stayed with his sister, and being December and January was tough to get a job then at the end of the year. And it wasn't too long. I think with February he got middle February he got a job in the city in Perth, and something again in IT. And as soon as he could get enough to get a car and get a house and get everything for us, then we came over. We did get a container to bring all our furniture with, which if I could do it over, I wouldn't do again, me personally. But I think it's because we had so much sentiment to many of the pieces. And then when we came here and we built our own house, we didn't have the space for all of it. For example, the dining room set that I bought was a genuine, I don't know what it's called in English, zwarthout. It's a very heavy, decent
Blackwood.
Blackwood.
I
don't know, something. Yes, Blackwood probably. And it was a huge wall unit, and that used to come from my dad's farm. So it was a very sentimental piece, but it was just too big for the house we built. So we had to sell it again for next to nothing. And I would rather have left it at the farmhouse if that was the case. But that's how you learn. So yes, it came in the container. The container came about a month after we got here. So about April.
That's good.
And the moving company helped us to get everything in and get everything sorted and set up. They were amazing. And it was nice to have all my shoes again.
How many pairs of shoes do you have, Olga?
Oh, it was about 2 boxes full.
Okay, so you built your dream home. Your first home, you said, ever?
Yes, our first home that we've ever owned. Before we used to rent in South Africa as well. And a last property we rented through my dad. And the property before, the very last one, we actually stayed with my dad. He's got a small residence, a plot. What's that in English?
Small holding?
Yeah, small holding. And he's got 3 houses. He's got a big mansion for himself. And then he had another big house for us and another house at the back. So we stayed with him. He wanted us to stay with him before we immigrated because he wanted to connect more with the kids and build, more memories before we moved. And so hopefully he can come visit them, because since we've been here, he hasn't been able to come visit yet.
So where
that's where we
was
stayed.
That? In Pretoria?
In Pretoria.
Wow, that's a good assumption. I don't know why I assumed Pretoria, but it was a good guess. Oh, it's beautiful. Beautiful area. So he hasn't been to Australia at all?
No, not yet. Not yet. So as soon as we can, everybody come. All the grandparents, that's the main thing. We just want the grandparents to come visit. The kids really miss out on the grandparents.
Yes, yeah. It's good to have internet and technology, but it doesn't substitute an actual skin-to-skin hug.
Exactly, yes.
So when you broke the news to your parents that you were going to come to Australia, how did they feel about it?
My dad was extremely supportive. He understood it and said, yes, go, it's for the kids. You do what's best for the kids. My mum understood. She was extremely emotional. She cried every time we talked about it. But they've been my parents are divorced. So that's why I say my dad, my mum. But she's been an angel through all of it. It was very tough on her. My grandparents, my parents-in-law, I think I married my husband to get them for myself. Plus my parents-in-law. And they were very, very supportive. Family-wise, our brothers and sisters, everyone has been by our side all the way. Wow. We did, however, have some family and friends that we did not get a lot of support from. That was quite sad. I had a family member I bumped in at the shopping center one day that instead of saying we wish you and we pray the best and we pray for you and whatever, she immediately said to my face, you're making the biggest mistake and you'll come back. And I felt like, it's things like that's unnecessary. Other family just immediately stopped talking to us and stopped inviting us to family events. So you will get that with anything you do, you'll get the people that's going to support you and you're going to get the people that's not. That's life. And, But our family, I think the people that we needed the support most, they've given it 100%. They do obviously miss us because there was a big sacrifice coming. I think a lot of people don't realize the sacrifice that it takes. It's not just, people view it as you running away from problems. It's not running away. You have kids that you're responsible for, that you want to give the best. And for us staying in South Africa, it was not the best. We wanted to give them more. And with that came a lot of sacrifices. And for example, when it's grandparents' day at school, I don't send my kids to school. That they'll take them, I'll keep them from school and we go do something else that's fun. Christmases and events like that where you really need your family, it's a big sacrifice. But it's for the children, and you know, the day that they've got kids, we will be there for them and we'll be able to help them. And I don't think you realize what a big role grandparents play in your children's lives until they're far away. But yeah, and the support from who we needed it definitely gave it all the way. I don't think I think it would have been harder if we didn't have our parents' support.
But you did the right thing, because now once you become a grandparent, you will be able to give that support to your grandchildren, your children and your grandchildren. So even though you're losing out a little bit in the one sense,
yes,
the amount that you'll be able to give, is just invaluable. So well done on you guys. It's such a big decision to make, to leave everything and everybody behind. And as you say, not running away, but going into this total unknown world, leaving all your security at home, like in wherever you come from.
Yeah.
And just going to this strange place where you don't know how it's going to turn out and what's going to happen, and just keeping, being brave. And you as a mum with it, how old would you, your youngest would have been 1, 2?
My youngest was 18 months at the time. I was 30 when we got here. And we weren't here very long when I found out I was pregnant again. The last 2 children were big surprises.
Well, great blessings.
Great blessings, yes. And January last year, our youngest daughter got very sick here in Australia. And we almost lost her. She got pneumonia and pleural effusion. And her one lung already collapsed, and all her intestines were getting squished and whatnot. And it escalated within 3 days from a runny nose to a lung being collapsed. And that was when I was extremely fortunate to be in Western Australia specifically, because I had the opportunity to be in hospital with her. And where if I was in South Africa, I don't know if I would have had her or not, but I wouldn't have had that opportunity to be with her in the hospital when COVID was as bad as it was at that stage. And so it's when those little things happen and you realize how fortunate you are to be here, and the big blessings. And it's like you say, CHAMONIX, it takes guts, but this is an opportunity that we saw that we had control over. We had the choice to do it or not. And it was life-changing. And a lot of things in our lives happen all the time that's going to be life-changing. From finishing school to going into a new job to getting married to having kids, all those things are life-changing events. But this is something that you have control over. And when a challenge comes, you take it just as any other challenge would have come in South Africa. You take the bull by the horns and you tackle it, and you just give it
such a beautiful mindset. That's awesome. So Olga, do you work, or how? And you said your husband works from home at the moment, is that right?
That's right. He works from home. He thinks I'm his PA. Well, he's my IT department and I'm his secretary. He works for an IT company. I'm not sure if I can say the name. He works for an IT company, a big company here in Perth. He's really good in what he does. When we got here, I was just mum at home. which I don't know if it was a really big blessing, because in South Africa, I dropped my kids at 6 a.m. and I got them at 6 p.m., 6:30 p.m., sometimes 7 p.m.
Wow.
And, when they saw me, they were just so happy to see mum, and they're so happy to see dad, and they've got all these nice things they want to share with you. And it's always happy. And on weekends, you've got stuff to do with grandparents, you've got birthday parties and this and that. And then when we got here, I think it was kind of a bomb shock on all of us, on the kids and I'm like, I don't know my kids. I realized when we got here, I didn't know my kids. I thought I knew my kids, but I didn't. And then when we got here and the amount of time we spent together, I realized how much I missed out on.
Oh.
And then little Catherine came, and about 2 years ago, I decided I want something to stay, because in South Africa, I used to work called corporate for a poultry company. I'll try to mix those two words now. I worked corporate, and so coming here was a big adjustment from that rush the whole time and being mum at home, and it was a challenge. But after about 2 years ago, I told my husband I want to do something that I can call my own and that I enjoy, and I wasn't ready to go back to the corporate world again. And so I started selling jewelry. So I've got my little own boutique. It's called Olga Rossouw Boutique. And I'm mostly online as well with that. So that's something I really enjoy and that I can do around the family and when I want to, how I want to. So it's great and I love it.
And you can be the PA as well while you're doing it.
Yes. One wish all the way.
We'd love to see some of your pieces. Okay, so your necklace that you've got on.
Yes, this is a little butterfly, gold.
Oh, beautiful!
And
yes,
they're all either titanium or stainless steel or sterling silver based. And there's the little matching ring.
Oh, sweet!
Butterfly. And there's a little butterfly earrings. I'm trying to.
That's gorgeous. Yes, my daughter would love that.
Super cute. So and everything's toxic, metal free, and we've got some handbags. I'm also I represent Mr. Lua in my boutique, which is my main brand, if I can put it that way. And they've also got the most beautiful genuine leather handbag that we've just launched. So it's the temptation is horrible. And it's popping, it's growing tremendously. It's going very, very well. I'm super proud of them.
That's great.
So we'll see where this takes us. But it's fun because I can work around the family and there's no pressure and there's no targets and there's no set PV points or anything like that. So it's literally just something fun that I can do for myself. And I think keep that stimulation and an excitement and not just cleaning floors and wiping noses all day.
Which is cleaning floors, I want to say wiping noses as well, but cleaning is a very big South African thing when we do come here the first time, because we feel like we just got to forever be busy cleaning, because in South Africa we had people cleaning our homes, and now we get here and it's like, where am I cleaning enough? Do I need to sweep once or twice a day?
Exactly.
Relax.
And I think we're very itty when it comes to cleaning, because we want it a certain way. And once we were here, I realized that now I understand when our domestic worker back home did skip a thing or two here and there. I completely understand it.
Yes, because we also skip a thing or two. So I assume you haven't replaced your domestic worker here with somebody else cleaning the home. Are you the cleaner, or have you incorporated the kids into a routine?
They've got their little chores that they've got to do, and they have to make up their own bed. When we have dinner, so the 1 week the girls will have to set the table and clean the dining room table after we had dinner, and then that week that they've got the dining room chores, the boys need to clean the bathroom after everybody bathed. So, and then the next week we'll change. So the boys will have to do the dining room and the girls will have to clean the bathroom. It's never perfect, but they're still young and they really try, but they get what it's about.
Thank you so much for sharing your story, Olga. It's been really fun chatting to you and
thank you.
learning more about your journey to Australia.
Absolutely.
The last question is, if you could change anything with this whole journey, what would that be?
CHAMONIX, I'm not sure. I would for one, not bring a whole container with. I would bring the few pieces that were treasures. I wouldn't do that all over again. The container part, I don't regret coming here. It had its challenges. I think half of Perth's ocean is made of my tears.
Aww.
There were times where it does get tough. It does, but it gets better. And when you start seeing those little blessings when you hear that you wouldn't have had in South Africa, I would not exchange that. So the things I get to expose my children here to and not have that anxiety. I did have a little post-traumatic stress syndrome not long after we got here, and not having to have that weight on my children. When you realize my kids' biggest worry is where they put their school shoes yesterday. And if I can give one more advice to people is, if anybody has the opportunity to come and they've prayed about it, they've got that peace in their heart, do it. Because, it's a life-changing challenge, but it's something that they're in control of. And the challenges that's going to come, you'll get through it. Every challenge in the past that was difficult, they got to get through it. And the same here. And the support that you get, I think we get a lot of support here that we didn't get in South Africa, because in South Africa, mostly everybody's for themselves.
Yeah.
And over here is you get support from people that you don't even ask for it. People just come and support you.
Beautiful words, such wise words. Thank you so much, Olga, for sharing your views and your story. And I'm sure that there will be some people watching this going, I just needed to hear that today. That's exactly, that little gap that I needed to fill for my journey to come to Australia. So thank you once again. It was lovely to chat
You're
to you.
welcome. You're most welcome. Thank you for the opportunity. And
it's my pleasure.
What you do, it's amazing.
It's my pleasure. I wish I could just pick everybody up and put them down here. And it's
take a couple of suitcases.
Wouldn't that be nice? But it's also part of the journey. I think that diamond that God polishes.
Yes.
I think that's part of the process.
You need the pressure. Sometimes you need that pressure. Yes.
You need it to make it perfect. Have a lovely day, Olga.
Oh, CHAMONIX, likewise. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. So thank you so much for joining me today. If you had fun, please remember to hit that subscribe button, and then it'll make sure that you never miss a thing. I'll see you same time and same place next week. Bye for now.